It's Chapter 1 scared the pants off of audiences when it debuted in 2017, becoming the highest-grossing horror movie of all time and leaving fans hungry for more. And It's Chapter 2 is certainly keeping pace with its predecessor at the box office. According to the Los Angeles Times, the film scored $91 million in its first weekend, making it the second biggest horror movie opening of all time, behind its 2017 predecessor.
Hello.
Together, the two films are likely to rake in a worldwide box office take somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 billion. And this begs the question, will there be an It Chapter 3? Please note, we'll be discussing a few plot points from King's novel and the two films, so some spoilers are coming right at you. While both It movies were reasonably faithful to the source material, Stephen King's epic 1986 novel of the same name, they weren't completely so. Several set pieces solely appear in the films, like Stan's run-in with the creepy lady from the painting in the first film, and Bill's Hall of Mirrors nightmare in the second. One of the most notable changes is the fact that It's Chapter 2 doesn't end with the same city-destroying storm that concludes the book. The difference could be telling. Following the success of It's Chapter 1, studio execs may have advised director Andy Muschietti to leave the door open for a third installment. But if that's the case, he certainly isn't admitting it. In 2017, he did discuss the possibility of splitting Chapter 2 into separate films, telling Variety, "It would make sense because it would give me more turf to develop the characters and more of a canvas to develop the journey." But to be honest, there wasn't a conversation about that, and now we are designing the story as one single film. Of course, nothing motivates studio executives like big bucks, and if New Line ultimately decides to greenlight a third chapter, there's a number of tracks the film could take. In fact, Pennywise actor Bill Skarsgard has mentioned that he and Muschietti have kicked around an idea for a third It movie. In a recent sit-down with Joe Blow, the actor opened up about those talks, saying that, "Andy and I have discussed ideas for what a third movie would look like. I don't think it's quite what people expect. It's something different. The first two stories are the book, and the second film is the end of that story. So we would do something quite literally off-book." Skarsgard goes on to reveal that, "There are a few ideas floating around. I feel like I've done what I can with the incarnation of Pennywise as we know him, so I think it would be a cool idea to change up a few things." So without going into too much detail, there is a story that we're kind of excited about, but it's way too early to say. But we'll see. The idea of a new incarnation of Pennywise is certainly an intriguing one, although it's safe to say there are about a million ways to get that concept wrong. Obviously, any additions to King's masterpiece would require a deft touch, but at least Muschietti has already demonstrated his considerable talent just by bringing it successfully to the big screen. Of course, even if It Chapter 3 never comes to fruition, Pennywise could always return to theaters in a supercut of the first two films. And guess what? Muschietti has definitely considered the idea. As he recently told Cinema Blend, "I am thinking of a supercut," which is basically the two movies told one after the other, adding everything that was lifted from them for length purposes, great scenes that are more character moments, or things that we had to lift for other reasons. I'm also very excited about shooting extra material. Well, that news should certainly put a smile on your face. Of course, if that plan comes to fruition, we hope we're given an intermission, or two, because watching an It supercut would certainly gobble up a gargantuan amount of time. Considering that Muschietti has already put this idea out in the public sphere, we're thinking a supercut could actually happen. As to whether we'll ever really see an It Chapter 3, we suspect that the likelihood is pretty slim, and all things considered, that's probably for the best. The novel spins an epic and phenomenally terrifying yarn, but expanding the story would almost certainly do the book a disservice. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite horror movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.